It was supposed to be a celebration. A cozy evening among close friends and extended family, marking my wife Lena's promotion at her firm. 55 guests filled the backyard we had spent months renovating together. Twinkling lights danced above as laughter bubbled over catered drinks, and jazz hummed softly through outdoor speakers. It should have been a perfect night. Instead, it became the moment I realized my marriage had already ended. It just hadn't been announced yet. Lena and I had been married for 4 years. In the beginning, we were inseparable. I fell in love with her energy, confident, unapologetic, driven. She brought light into rooms and never apologized for taking up space. It was one of the things I admired most. But slowly, that strength began to feel more like control. We always agreed on keeping finances transparent. We had a joint account for shared expenses, but I also had a personal account for my own spending. Nothing shady, just boundaries I thought were healthy. She had the same. That was the deal, or so I thought. Lately, Lena had been making subtle comments. Jokes about how I was stingy or too uptight about money. It started with playful nudges during dinner parties. Then it became more frequent and more public. Still, I tried to brush it off. Maybe she was just joking. Maybe I was being sensitive. Maybe. The night of the party, Lena wore a deep emerald dress that shimmered in the backyard lights. Her brother Damien, a self-styled entrepreneur who'd been riding a wave of failed startups, was there too. I'd never liked him. He always had a way of inserting himself into conversations, bragging about deals that never seemed to materialize, and treating me like I was some beta male holding his sister back. Halfway through the night, Damien approached me near the drinks table, holding a crystal glass and that familiar arrogant smirk. "Hey, bro," he said, clapping a hand on my shoulder. "Quick thing. My guy just called. He's unloading a limited batch of NFT art. I want to jump in now, before they're gone. You still got that Amex on you?" I blinked, confused. "What?" "The platinum, man. Just need to charge a few grand. I'll pay you back next week. Swear." He said it loud enough for the two people near us to hear. I looked over at Lena, laughing with her co-workers. I had no idea how this man thought it was okay to ask me that at my wife's party. "I'm not giving you my credit card, Damien." His smirk faltered. "What?" I said no. I repeated, "I'm not paying for some digital fantasy scam just because you decided to show up with a half-baked plan." Damien's face darkened, his hands slowly tightening around his glass. "Watch your mouth." I stood my ground. Or what? What happened next felt surreal. He raised his hand and slapped me across the face. Hard. The glass fell and shattered at our feet. The music didn't stop, but the conversations did. Gasps rippled through the crowd. All heads turned. And Lena? She clapped, not out of shock or horror. She clapped and laughed. It was short, sharp, smug, like she had been waiting for someone else to do what she never dared. Her eyes met mine with no regret, only a sick, satisfied kind of amusement. That slap didn't just sting my cheek. It broke something inside me. I stood there in silence, the sting pulsing like a heartbeat. My hand instinctively touched my face. A few guests rushed in between us, murmuring awkwardly, "Hey, whoa, Damien, what the hell? Was that real? Did he just slap him?" I locked eyes with Lena again. She wasn't clapping anymore, but she didn't apologize, didn't rush to my side, didn't ask if I was okay. She just stood there, arms folded, like a judge watching a verdict be handed down. The humiliation was complete. I walked inside without another word. Later that night, after most of the guests had awkwardly left and Damien had been ushered away by some half-hearted attempts at de-escalation, I sat alone in the dark living room. The lights outside still glowed. So did the anger under my skin. Lena finally came in, heels clicking on the hardwood. She didn't look sorry. What the hell was that? I asked, my voice low but burning. She rolled her eyes. "You embarrassed him. You embarrassed me. You could have just helped. It wasn't a big deal." "A grown man slapped me across the face, Lena." She crossed her arms. "Well, maybe you shouldn't have disrespected him. You always act like you're better than everyone." I stared at her, searching for the woman I married, but she wasn't there. Or maybe she never was. So you're defending him? I asked. You clapped, Lena. You made a scene, she said flatly. At my party. I work hard to impress those people. And you just had to flex your control. Control. There it was. I stood, heart pounding. Is that what this is about? Control? I said no to giving a man who lives off his sister's couch access to my credit card, and I'm the villain? She turned away. Don't be dramatic. I was hit, Lena. Grow up. And that was it. I packed a bag the next morning. No dramatics. No screaming match. No threats. I just left. I didn't leave because of the slap. I left because my wife applauded my humiliation. Because she didn't even flinch at the idea of me being assaulted. Because the man she clapped for wasn't just her brother, but mirrored the kind of man she secretly admired. Reckless, self-serving, loud, and unapologetic. That's not who I am. And I'm not sorry for it. The fallout came quickly. Lena tried to spin the narrative at first. Told her friends I overreacted, that I had a fragile ego. Damien even posted a smug photo with the caption, "Some men need a reality check. You're welcome." I didn't respond. I didn't post. I didn't argue. Instead, I filed for divorce. 3 months later, I live in a quiet apartment across town. Peaceful. Clean. No more tension humming between sentences. No more pretending at parties. No more clapping when I'm brought low. I still hear about Lena sometimes. How she's trying to date again. How people whisper about what happened at that party. I don't correct the rumors. I don't need to. I know the truth, and that truth set me free. She clapped when I was slapped, because she thought I would stay anyway. But I didn't, and I never will again. 3 months later, I live in a quiet apartment across town. Peaceful. Clean. No more tension humming between sentences. No more pretending at parties. No more clapping when I'm brought low. I still hear about Lena sometimes. How she's trying to date again. How people whisper about what happened at that party. I don't correct the rumors. I don't need to. I know the truth, and that truth set me free. She clapped when I was slapped, because she thought I would stay anyway. But I didn't, and I never will again. Because now I finally understand. The person who celebrates your humiliation never truly loved you. And love without respect is nothing more than control dressed in affection. I may have walked away that night with a stinging cheek and a shattered ego, but I walked into something far greater, my self-worth. And that's a credit no one else will ever get to charge again. Not her, not her brother, not anyone.